Hi everyone. Hi. So I know that I normally come to you because I'm doing a podcast, or we're talking about, self-leadership, personal growth and development, magic, all those things. But I am a huge ASMR fan. And so I know this is super silly, but I've been wanting to make like a rambly little whisper video for a while, and I actually had made one the other day, but the problem was I recorded it and then I had an issue with my computer and I lost it. So I was like, well, let's go ahead and just try again, right? Because why not? This is something I've wanted to do. So I wanted to talk to you guys about, it's October now. We are at October 9th. So Halloween is fast approaching. And I love Halloween. And if I'm being really honest, it's my second favorite holiday. So for a little bit of backstory, I grew up in a very strict religion. I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and we were not allowed to celebrate holidays. So growing up, I never got to celebrate holidays, which was sad. I have to be honest about it. We were taught to say things that, like, it didn't bother us and it didn't make us sad and whatever. Like, those were all lies. I was sad. I didn't like it. And there were two holidays especially that I always wanted to celebrate growing up, and that was Halloween and Christmas. I actually got in trouble one year because I wanted to celebrate Christmas so bad that I went out to our yard and we had a big pine tree, and I cut a branch off the pine tree and I hid it in my closet, and I decorated it with stickers and dental floss because I didn't have Christmas decorations, and it was Snoopy stickers. Anyway, so fun little fact about me, and yes, that goes into just so many things that are wrong with that religion, but we will save that for another time. So, like I said, Halloween is my second favorite holiday. Christmas is my first. And I love fall in general. I've just always loved the fall season. But when it comes to like decorating, I really go more out for Christmas. But I do have a lot of fall decorations, but I don't do a lot of Halloween. And even though I love like spooky, scary stuff, I just don't do those kinds of decorations in my house or outside in my yard. But what I've noticed this year in my neighborhood, and actually a lot of my city, there's a lot more people decorating for Halloween this year and doing like really big displays of decorations in their yards, or even if it's not like a whole lot this year doing these really big like displays for Halloween. So it's very interesting because I like to go for walks or runs, whatever I'm feeling. I'm a runner. I have run 5 full marathons, and I think I'm up to, oh my gosh, I can't even tell you how many half marathons I've run. I started running them in 2012, so that gives you an idea. I've done quite a few every year, so we're well over 20 half marathons since I really started running. I say more seriously, but I'm not fast. But anyway, so being on a cul-de-sac, there's just one way in and one way out, right? And there's a few houses that have really gone all out this year. And the one house that is at the end of the street, well, she really went out. And I remember she's a newer neighbor, and when she moved in, I saw as she was like moving and her garage was open that I could see that there was a lot of Halloween decorations in her garage, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be really cool, right? Yeah. It is not really cool because she has a lot of the one thing that really scares me, and that's clowns. And she has so many clowns in her yard and very close to the street. And so, yeah, there's no way around them. There's just so many clowns. And as my son said when we were driving home the one day and went past, he was like looking out the window. And he's a teenager, but he looked at me and he was like, that is a concerning amount of clowns. And I was like, I agree. It's a lot of clowns. And then even after that, she put out more clowns. So there's a lot of clowns. And I'm not afraid of clowns because a lot of people that are around my age, that it had come out, like the Stephen King book, you know, they made the movie, and I feel like that's why a lot of people were scared of clowns. But I didn't see that movie until I was a little bit older. Ever since I was little, I just have this very vivid memory of like my grandmother taking me to the circus, and I just didn't like the clowns. Like, I didn't think they were funny. I just felt like they were creepy, and I've just never liked clowns ever since. So it's kind of difficult because there's all these clowns at the top of my street that I have to walk past or run past, whatever. But it is interesting too because I have found that in going past them over and over again every day, at least in the daytime, I'm almost getting a little bit more desensitized to the clowns because I'm just going past them multiple times a day. So it's very interesting, very interesting. But anyway, okay, well, we won't make this too long. I just thought it'd be really fun to do this because, like I said, I'm a big fan of ASMR. Anyway, I just thought that this would be really fun to do because, like I said, I'm a big fan of ASMR, and I really love ASMR that is just whispering and just kind of storytelling, right? Whatever kind of makes me think about when I was a kid. And my grandma used to whisper bedtime stories to me, and she would always tell me stories that were from her childhood, so like real experiences that she had growing up, which was really cool. So I've also kind of thought about, because she wrote everything down in a book before she passed away, so I've also had this thought about like sharing her stories, because it's just from such a different time, because my grandmother, she was born in 1912, so she has some really good stories from her life that she wrote down that I sharing is like a whisper, like in an ASMR style, just because, like I said, that's what that reminds me of, and I just like whispering ASMR. So anyway, okay, that's all I wanted to share for now. So I hope you guys found this relaxing, entertaining. If you liked it, hit the like button. Leave me a comment below and let me know. Let me know if you would like to hear my grandmother's stories. I know I think they're cool, but right, like it's my grandma, so I don't know. That's just me. Or if you want some more like rambly, whispery type stuff. And then, as always, if you want more of like fiery, passionate content, then make sure that you subscribe as well, because I will be uploading all of my podcast episodes here on YouTube, but they are also available on Apple and Spotify. And in case you're interested in that podcast, it is called All the Things with me, Amanda Brunch. I'm the host of the podcast. So it's a brand new podcast. We're just getting started. I'm actually in the middle